Another season coming to a close. And I discovered over this year that people are actually watching my videos for the content. So I should fill in some of the gaps and give a few hints. This is for fall preparation. We're looking at a bed that was for snow peas and bush beans. And snow peas did okay, but the bush beans, of course, were great. My total weeding for the entire garden for this season was probably an hour with the heavy mulch. Some things keep on coming back, like Creeping Charlie, and that actually has to be rooted out if possible. Otherwise, it just keeps on coming back. Again, that's going to come back. This one probably won't. No, there we go. Got that one out. I've had fun in both my gardens. Even Roundup doesn't kill Creeping Charlie. It sits around and thinks about it for almost a month before it dies. Anyway, if you look at the bed here, you see how much the soil has gone down over one season. That happens about every year. Remember, this is a no-till method. So if you're confused about that, the hugelkultur method and with the deep mulch, you should check my other videos. Anyway, I'm going to show you what the prep is for the fall. So I've taken out everything this year. The beans and the peas were cut off at the soil level so as to provide as little disturbance as possible. And I just raked out the top mulch. So this is what I do every year now. And at the end, I'm going to talk about one huge mistake that I've made so far in these beds and the correction I made. The first step after things have been leveled out is to put some manure in. We use chicken trot. If we had a easy source of well-rotted manure, we'd do that, but this works just as well so far. And we just take, oops, and sprinkle it around a little bit. You don't want to use too much, otherwise you burn things. But that's the first layer. Next is a layer of really nice compost. It's from our yard for the last 2 years, all the gardens and everything. So that gives a nice organic layer on top of the manure. So that's the compost applied. And you can see that there's still quite a bit of freeboard to the top of the bins, and which I'm going to fill with wood chips now. And if you have raised beds, you'll notice that the volume decreases by quite a bit every year. Some of it is compaction, some of it's going into the plants. On Hampton, those of you who know my Hampton garden, every 5 years I had to bring in another 10 yards of dirt. So this new method is supposedly going to alleviate all of that. We shall see. Anyway, I'll be back after the chips are applied. So here's a shot of the finished bed. I used what's called arborist wood chips, which means it's right after it comes out of a shredder. There's no dyes, no sifting, no nothing. And it has all the mycorrhizal fungi and other nutrients that you want. I got this stuff just about a year ago, and you can see it's already starting to compost down. So this is year 3 of a 5-year experiment. We'll see how it ends up. So far, as you can see, things are doing quite well. Let's see if I can get zoom into the tomatoes there. Look at them. They're very late, but they're very prolific too. Anyway, one more bonus shot and then I'll tell you what I discovered this year. This is the other garden bed. I'm just going to pan through it. This was another no-till heavy mulch method called Back to Eden, if you're interested in trying it. Some of the stuff just went absolutely crazy. Like, for instance, zoom in here, the corn is about 7 feet tall. The raspberries that I put in went absolutely crazy this year. I can't even find out where the row is. And then over in the vining products here, we have lots and lots of vines, but no fruit so far. The green peppers do wondrously in here. This is a very hot bed. Anyway, this is Back to Eden. Now for the big mistake that I discovered last year. For years and years and years, I've been using this Blue Wonder substance as a foiler on my plants. Blue Wonder is very litigious, so we'll just call it Blue Wonder. Everybody should probably know what it is. Anyway, I found out that the formulation is way too high in nitrogen, way too many minerals and salts in it. So for somebody who's trying to build soil, it's kind of counterproductive. I remember on my Hampton gardens of seeing little crystals in the soil when I was renewing the soil, and I couldn't figure out what the hell that was. I thought it was from the water, but it was actually probably from that. Anyway, if you want to research it, you can find out how bad that actually is for your soil. I imagine if you're a florist or some other type of short-term gardener, it might be of help to you, but I suggest for a long-term vegetable gardener, it would be best you got rid of it. Anyway, I've been looking for substitutes, and I found something called Grow. This is made by a company in Texas, and it's totally organic, except for the fact that there's a little bit of synthetic urea in there. I don't know how they make synthetic urea, but that's what it is. Anyway, it's as far as any of the really productive products goes, this comes as very closest to totally organic, and it's also a soil builder. So it enhances the microbes in the soil and helps feed them. So it's everything you want in an organic garden. There's one big problem is that a bottle like this, that's a gallon bottle, costs about $100 Canadian by the time it gets to us. And which amounts to $50 a year. That bottle's going to last me 2 years for my garden, so it'll last you longer. I did some shopping around in inquiries, and I found out at Home Depot in Fargo, the same bottle sells for $30. So looking at the process, I could probably have some bottles shipped to the border to Pembina and have running in red to bring them across and still save a lot of money. I've run into that a few times with items that are just exorbitantly overpriced. Anyway, it is a wonderful product. I'll see if I can bring the flowers into focus. There. Oops, wrong way. Look how beautiful they are. And they've been like that all summer long. And they weren't like, they were nice, but they weren't that good with the Wonder Blue stuff. So anyway, something to consider. I'll post another video about Grow here and see how much it actually costs. You can buy multiple bottles because it has a shelf life of 5 years. The only thing is you have to store it indoors. You can't freeze in the wintertime. Anyway, that's it for now. Happy gardening.